I'd buy that for $1.
Guys, Caldwell3 here, and I just want to make a video regarding Robocop because in 2013 we're going to have a remake, but I wanted to talk about the original 1987 Robocop that I saw in the theater as a child. So 1987 Robocop, directed by Paul Verhoeven. He did Total Recall, which is also being made, into a remake, and Starship Troopers, which is everybody's favorite movie to laugh at. So Robocop, 1987. The movie's called Robocop, but the plot's pretty simple. You have this future Detroit, not too far in the future, not too far from now at least, and you have this evil corporation that's basically running the police department. The police department's being overrun by criminals. The corporation wants to build this new city, but they got to get the crime under control first, and of course they're a corporation, they want to make money, so they want to install these military devices to control crime. One device fails, so what they do is they go to the plan B, which is Robocop, and they basically have to wait for a cop to die, and then they rebuild him as this Frankenstein monster. Robocop's played by Peter Weller, who also played in Buckaroo Banzai. And those are probably his two most famous roles, at least that I can think of off the top of my head. But, he's great as Robocop. He's like I said, it's sort of like a Frankenstein monster type story. But the one thing really about this movie, when I was watching it the last couple of weeks, I watched it once with my friend, once with my wife. It's the quintessential 80s action movie. Violent as hell. Of course it's rated R. The new one is not going to be rated R. It's going to be PG-13. I'm pretty sure. I would, bet my hand on it. Our parents took us to see this movie as kids. I was 12, and, so were my wife and my friend. Our parents took us to see this movie. Extremely violent. If you watch the part when Robocop gets blasted by the bad guys, which leads to him becoming Robocop, it is extremely violent. There's blood and gore in this movie. Tons of machine gun fire. All the good stuff that made the 80s good. So besides all the action, it does have a good story at the core, and it's really layered with a lot of satire. They have fake commercials, they have these cheesy newscasts, fake TV shows, the buy that for $1 guy, which, is like pop culture to us guys. And it's just really layered with this really thick layer of sarcasm and satire, and it's awesome. I mean, the bad guy is called Dick, for Christ's sakes. I mean, if that doesn't say it all. And they kind of make a point of saying Dick, when they say his name. Even though now, when I watch the movie, it plays a little bit more like a comedy. Because, when I was a kid, I took it all seriously. Robocop is slow. He moves actually like a robot. And I'm sure in the new one, he's going to be a lot sleeker and all that. But, I mean, Peter Weller really did an awesome job. He has the voice. I know the new guy won't even have as good of a voice. Even though they put it through a thing, like a voice changer. Before he becomes Robocop, he still has the cool voice. And one more thing I really noticed watching it now again is on more of like a critical level when I watched it, besides all the satire, they really show when they're creating Robocop how they dehumanize the character. He starts off, of course, the movie as a man, and then he becomes Robocop. But the scene where they're creating him, the doctors and stuff are working on him, and they really just show, which I found interesting now that I'm older, was just how they degrade him into they just consider him like a machine, a weapon. They don't consider him human. And I found that really interesting as an adult. Okay, so there has to be something I don't like about it. And really, as nostalgia, affects me, I have a hard time really not liking anything about it. The younger viewers, I think if you're going to watch it before the movie comes out, if you've never seen it, it's going to play a little bit more like a comedy to you. You're going to probably be laughing. And it is a fun movie. And intentionally, the original movie was meant to be, have some funny parts. But you're going to look at it, and it's just so... Some of the stuff, the technology, of course, looks dated. The way Robocop is so robotic. The tracer they use for Robocop is bigger than my iPhone, which is hilarious. I mean, it's supposed to be high-tech. He drives a Ford Taurus, which, back then was like the new car. But if you've seen, Total Recall and Starship Troopers, you probably get an idea of how, Paul Verhoeven made his movies. So, in retrospect, I watched the movie twice in the last couple weeks. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 because it is such a damn classic. I can't imagine the remake being really better. There's a lot of things they can improve on because the climate of the world is a lot different. Of course, there's a lot more robot technology and computer technology. So, it seems more plausible to have like a robot-type cop. It's not going to be as far-fetched as the original movie. I just really can't wait to see the design of the new Robocop, for the movie. It's the head has to be the same. I know the rest will probably be a lot different besides the gun in the leg thing, which is pretty cool. I had forgot about that until I rewatched it again. And that shit's pretty cool. So, all right, 4.5 out of 5. It's not perfect. You know, the acting's not the greatest. Peter Weller does good. Nancy Allen's good. Ronnie Cox is good. The bad guy is the guy from the 70s show, Eric's dad. And that always ruined the 70s show for me. But the bad guys, the rest of them, they're pretty bad acting. So, you know, 4.5 out of 5. It's not a perfect movie, but it is fun. Get some beer, watch it, laugh your ass off, especially if you've never seen it. You're probably going to find it amusing. A lot of action, a lot of gore. Cool stuff, man. So check out Robocop at least before the remake comes out. You get a real feel for what life was like in the 80s as far as cinema goes. I mean, you had your Rambo, your Robocop, your Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, and, you know, you could buy an Uzi at the freaking convenience store practically. So cool stuff. I'm feeling a little bit nostalgic. So, all right, guys, see you soon.